the first card you have for your past is the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I'm seeing second chances in this card. I think someone might have been giving you a second chance, or a second chance to start again, or something like that. Obviously, this is a love connection. I'm not seeing a great big full-on reunion or anything like that. It was a reunion, but I think this was something small. It wasn't this great big huge thing. I think you might have just started talking to someone again, or they might have just contacted you a few times, just in little ways. And I think maybe they were hinting at things. They were probably hinting at wanting a second chance or something like that. So I think I think this is something that you're wanting to hear, and you're wanting to hear this for a long, long time. You're hoping for a long time. And I think maybe it was only when you decided to totally let go of all of this, and you tried to just forget about all of this, that they finally came back to you. And this happens quite often. Sometimes, when you want someone back and you're saying, oh, why didn't they come back? I miss them, I want them, and then you finally let go of it. Quite often that's when they come back. That happens quite a lot. So I think I think this time you were taking your time. You were doing things in your own time, because that's what this night is. It's a very slow night. And I think you're feeling a lot more in control of things. This horse and this night is a very strong, steady night and horse. It goes very slowly, it's very steady, it's very stable. I think if you do decide to move forward again with this person, I think you're definitely going to take your time. They might not have actually said anything like, I'd like to try again. I don't think they were that forward, but I think you could tell. I think deep down, this was probably what they wanted, and you knew that. I think you could tell this was kind of what they were kind of edging toward. So the next card you have for your past is the Six of Swords. So yeah, you weren't ready. You weren't ready to really jump back into anything again right away. I think maybe you're really hurt. I think when you separated from this person, you're really hurt. And, you did eventually move on, but you hadn't forgotten anything that had happened. You still had all of that in your mind, good, bad, and everything else. I think there was a time in your life where you couldn't stop thinking about this person. First thing in the morning, you'd open your eyes and they'd be on your mind. And then, you'd try and sleep and they'd be on your mind. All the time they're on your mind at one time. And maybe you even had to try to train yourself not to think of them all the time. And so now I think when you're talking to them again, or when you were at this time, and you were kind of thinking about them all the time, all over again, it was something that you had to try and train yourself back into almost. So it was kind of like a big shift in your head, because you'd really made such a big effort to not think of them or to move on from them, and you had to make an effort to do that. And now talking to them again was kind of like a strange kind of mental shift again that was hard to get used to again. So I know this is sounding as if you didn't want to be with them, but you did want to be with them. You were cautious, but if you didn't want to be with them, you would have said no. Or if you didn't want to talk to them, you would have said no. But you didn't do that. You were talking to them. So if this all resonates, I think you were doing the right thing by taking things very, very slowly until you completely, you were sure of what you wanted and you'd made up your mind. And if you're still in the middle of this, you might even need to take a break again if it gets too much for you, if it's too much of a mental kind of problem for you. So, yeah, if you need to take another break to think about things, do that, because there is a lot of confusion in your heart and in your head, and kind of between those two. It's like part of you is welcoming them as well, because this is what you'd waited for so long. But I think you're also able to look back and see things in perspective, and kind of look back on this relationship and say to yourself, well, yeah, this was a problem and that was a problem, and now that I'm not all emotional about this, I can look back and see all of that. So you're in kind of two minds. That's what I'm seeing. And I think you're probably going backwards and forwards between, oh, do I want them again? No, yes, and that kind of thing. So I'm seeing a lot of that. So there's a lot of confusion. So the last card you have for your past is the High Priestess. So yeah, the High Priestess can be about the subconscious, can be about a lot of things, but yeah, the subconscious. And I think, even if we can't remember everything that's happened in our past, our subconscious does. So it's in there somewhere. So sometimes these old memories can come out as just a feeling, and we kind of think, oh, where did that come from? And it comes from a subconscious memory. And so I think talking to this person again and thinking about them all over again might have made a lot of old memories and feelings come back to the surface again, good, bad, and everything else. So that might have added to this confusion as well. So I think if you're still going through this and you still, you do still have a lot to work through and you have a lot to process, I'd say, don't let them pressure you. But I don't think they are. I don't think they have pressured you, and I don't think they will either, because I think they're probably being careful not to mess anything up or scare you away. But there is still a lot of confusion around this, and I think maybe one good thing to ask yourself when you're trying to make up your mind might be, something like, why did they decide to come back at this time? Why now? Was it because they missed you? Was it because they were lonely? Or because they just broken up with someone? I don't know. If you're in two minds about going back to them, there's probably a reason why. And again, I'm not telling you not to, but just make sure that if you do go back, it's because they want you for the right reasons, not just because they're a bit lonely or because they just broken up with someone, or they were like, oh, I know this person will always wait for me, I'll go back to them. Not for that reason. It has to be a pretty good reason for you to go back to them. Because as I was seeing in the Six of Swords, you were hurt. So yeah, I don't mean to lecture you. I just felt I had to say that. If I see something, I had to say that. If I see any warnings or whatever, I say. So yeah, the first card you have for your present is the Three of Swords, yes. So yes, again, this might be another warning. Yeah, be very, very careful. They might be genuine. They really, really might be. But you have instincts for a reason, and if you're going backward and forward and you're kind of stressed about this, there's a reason why that is. So whatever you do, please use your instincts. Don't get yourself into a situation where you're hurt again. Something like this happened to me, where I went back to someone and they really, really looked like they'd changed. They had a different job, they lived in a different place, they even looked a bit different. They changed a lot of things about themselves. And they came back to me and they said, look, I've really changed. And I could see that they had. I really could see all the evidence that they had. And as they were talking to me again, they were really different in the way that they were behaving. They were very patient with me. They answered every question I had to ask them. And it looked like they were really making this effort. And, I took them back because the feelings were still there. I still had all these feelings for them. But in the end, they hurt me all over again in exactly the same way they had in the first place. So I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm not saying, you're not me, they're not my ex-partner. Everyone's different. Every situation's different. But I am seeing caution all over this reading. And if I'm seeing that, I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say, great, congratulations, you go off with that person, if that's not what I'm seeing. So you might come to the conclusion that you do want to go back to them. That's absolutely fine. Of course, that's all up to you. I'm just telling you that I'm seeing some warnings here. So, again, if you're taking your time, which is what I was seeing in the Knight of Pentacles, at least keep on doing that until you're convinced one way or the other. So the next card you have for your present is Temperance. So I think this might be another reason to back off a bit or even take a break from all of this, because this whole thing might be taking over your mind. And again, I know it sounds like I'm warning you all the time. I think maybe the last time you were with this person, or last time you were around this person, I think they might have taken over your mind, actually. Not in a kind of crazy way, not that they're obsessed or whatever, or you were, but I'm not seeing anything crazy in this, but I think other areas of your life suffered when you're around this person because you're concentrating so much on that person. And I think, don't let this happen this time. That's what I'm saying. If you do go back to them, don't let this happen this time, because you do have a lot of things that you're working on. And I'm seeing one specific thing, actually. You might have started this, but then I think, you might have stopped this for some reason. Maybe you came to a roadblock, or you lost your motivation or something like that. And I think that whatever these roadblocks are, they might not be as big as you're imagining. So they might be even a few little things that you might need to do on this project or this thing before you're almost finished. So this is just telling me that you have to step up and work on things that you'd kind of abandoned when you were with this person last time. You might have just pushed them aside. Don't do that. Go back and look at this project with fresh eyes, because I think there might be something that you might just be able to do to be able to finish this all up and move forward quite quickly on this, actually. And I think finishing this thing or this project or whatever this is that you're almost at the end of, if this is resonating with you, if you can think of something that you're almost at the end of but you just abandoned or something like that, go back and do that again, revisit that again, because I think that this is going to help you to build up your confidence again. And I would see, you built up a full life without this person in it, and whether you do or you don't go back to this person, make sure that you keep all of these things up. Don't keep your own life and your own goals going for yourself. Don't let go of them for someone else. That's what I'm seeing in that. I know that was a bit confusing, but I was seeing a project, I was seeing something you had to do, and then I was seeing that you need to go back and revisit your old things and start new things and build up a life for yourself and keep it going, whether you are going to get back to this together with this person or not. Keep your own life up. I hope that makes better sense and I've kind of articulated that better. So the last card you have for your present is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, there are butterflies all over this card. On the Queen's crown, there are butterflies all around and on her throne. And of course, everyone knows caterpillars go into the dark, they go into a cocoon by themselves, they spend time by themselves, and then they emerge as butterflies. And I think this might be a message telling you that the way that you'll be able to find answers to what you want to do, whether you want to be with this person or not, is to go and take some time out for yourself and either meditate, just make sure that you're completely away from them for a while you're making up your mind, and also make sure that you're away from other people as well, outside influences, and just think, get some time, meditate if that's something you do, sleep on it, just be by yourself, just rest, and just think about this, weigh everything up when you've done that, and then use your instincts to make up your mind. Now, and that's going to set you free once you've made up your mind, like a butterfly. So if you're not able to make up your mind after that, don't put pressure on yourself. Take your time. This decision needs to be your decision, only yours, nobody else's, and it needs to be made on your time, in your time. However long it takes you, that's how long it takes you. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your future is the Page of Swords. So yeah, I think this person who you're thinking about, this person who's come back to you at this time in your future, I think they might be starting to feel a little bit impatient, and I don't think they're going to tell you this directly, but they'll probably say some little things. I think they might hint at some things. So, and I think when they do hint at things, you'll know exactly what they're trying to do and what they're trying to say. You know, you're very intuitive, and I think you pick up on hints very easily. But again, try not to feel pressured by this. The messages that they're going to be sending you at this time, they'll probably be very sweet, very friendly, very complimentary, and all of that. And I think, you know, you'll get the message, you'll know what they mean. And if you're still not ready at this time, that's fine. If you are, if you want to be with them, you know you do, go for it, that's absolutely fine. If you're not ready, that's also fine. So of course, if you're not ready, try to be as clear and as straightforward as you can with them. Just tell them clearly, I'm not ready, I'm still not sure about this, I really need some time to myself to think about this. If they truly care about you, this might be another test for them. I'm not saying you have to test them, but if they truly care about you, they'll wait, they'll be patient. And again, I know I keep on seeing this person all over this reading. I think these messages have to go out to someone, whoever it is, needs to hear this, obviously. But yeah, the big thing I'm seeing all over this reading is the big one message. If there's one message you take away from this whole thing, which I know is a corny thing to say that everyone says, the one message to listen to is take your time. Take your time until you're 100% ready to, and you know exactly what you want. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Magician. This is a fantastic card. I love this card. So at this time, I think your mind's going to be very sharp. It's going to be very sharp and very clear. You're going to know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to know what you want to do, I'm trying to say. So I don't know if you're, I'm seeing something like you might be running a small business, or you might be thinking of doing something like that. This is some kind of creative small business. So if this is what's happening, if this is what you're doing, use this clarity that's in your mind to either expand things or take things, or some area of this business into a completely different direction. So it might be something like branching out into a whole new area of products or something like that. It's like you need to use this creative mind and this kind of sharp mind that you have at this time to really expand your business and take it into a new area or something. And you might have been really thinking about doing this for a long time, actually, but I think you had so many mental and emotional distractions that you probably haven't been able to focus properly. But I think now at this time you'll be able to. And it might be that this is the time that you're taking some time out from this person. That might be why you have so much clarity. I don't know. But, I'm also seeing someone who might be able to help you with this business or this thing. This is someone who has a lot of experience in this unique area. And it ties in perfectly with what you're doing. So I keep on seeing these ideas or whatever this is being something that's really unique. So I think it would normally be quite difficult to find someone around you who has experience in this unique thing that this business is around. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to kind of articulate what I'm seeing. But yeah, I think when you're in this magician mode, a lot of things are going to happen. People with experience are going to pop into your life. You're going to be able to let them help you. You're going to see signs, you're going to see things, and you're going to be able to do things quite quickly and easily. So yeah, this is the Magician card. So a lot of magical things are going to start to come together for you at this time. So make the most of this time. Make the most of your mind, your clarity. Look out for all of these different signs that are going to lead you in the right direction. But more than anything, tap into your own mind, because I think at this time it's going to be extremely sharp as well as very intuitive, and these two things together are very, very powerful. And so you're going to be able to put this power into action in this business. It might be a business It might be a project. It's something very, very unique, very creative. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your future is the Five of Wands. So yeah, get busy, move quickly on whatever this creative business thing or this project is. I mean, this is obviously the card of running around, doing everything, being really busy. It's also the card of competition as well. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with competition. There's nothing wrong with good competition, healthy competition. But I think you might have to make sure that some of these ideas, these very different ideas, are a secret. Or maybe you need to register them somewhere to make sure that nobody copies them or whatever, copies you. Because again, I'm seeing something that's really, really unique. And, you know, the most unique ideas are the most copied ideas usually. So if this resonates, just watch out for that. Just be very careful, guard your ideas, register them somewhere if you have to. You know, do whatever you can to hold on to them and you know, keep them from people who might be copying you until you've actually got this all 100% together. That's what I'm seeing.